you can't find that familiar face, look for someone who looks as lonely, as awkward as you feel. If you're a little bit awkward and shy and not that comfortable with networking, then implement these strategies and you should achieve better results with the networking. First tip is to have a plan. I'm not talking about having a really specific plan of the whole networking event that you plan on attending. Just having a general plan of what you want to achieve through your general networking. Like, what's your greater goal? Do you want to meet more people who could potentially be clients one day? Are you looking for a job? What your greater goal is will dictate what networking events are going to suit you better. You'll know a little bit about yourself and where you feel more comfortable, what kind of environments, what kind of people. You might prefer a coffee group if you're an introvert, where everybody gets a chance to talk. It's a lot more laid back and relaxed. Or are you an extrovert? You love the bustling atmosphere of a sort of cocktail party event with heaps of people, all mixing and mingling, moving between groups, meeting a whole bunch of people. That could be more your thing. So you've got to be quite strategic with your plan. Don't just attend any old networking event. If it's not going to bring you value through meeting the right people that you're trying to connect with and the greater goal of your career, then you're probably wasting your time. There's millions of events out there to choose from, so choosing the right event for you and your personality type and your goals is quite important. Second tip is to find familiar faces. If you're a little bit shy and not that natural at networking, the idea of walking into a room full of people and just entering a random conversation, if that's a bit daunting to you, try and find a familiar face. So it could be an ex-work colleague, could be someone you've met in passing through a friend, but it's something that will allow you to enter that conversation a bit more comfortably, and it'll be a starting point for your conversation. Oh, hi, I remember you from blah, blah, blah. If you can't find that familiar face, look for someone who looks as lonely, as awkward as you feel. Chances are that person doesn't know anybody anyway, and they'll be quite eager to have a conversation with you if you make the first move and go over to them. So just suck up a bit of courage, go over to them and sort of make a joke. Oh, it sucks going to these networking events when you don't know anyone, have a bit of a laugh, start building that rapport. Then other people might join your conversation if they see that you're engaging and having a good time. Fourth tip is remembering names. I have to admit, I'm not that great at remembering names. Sometimes I'll go to a networking event, I meet so many people sometimes that it's hard for me to keep up with who all these different people are and how I've met them. But a tip for you if you're not good at remembering names is to make a visual cue in your mind that helps you remember that person. Something based on their way they're dressed or the way they look. You might meet in Harry with a really big beard. So the cue to remember Harry is Harry Harry or Hairy Harry, to help remember that name. But something about their appearance which gives you a cue for what their name is. Body language is another important one. Even if you're feeling a bit shy and awkward, don't let it show on your face. Walk around with a big smile, Be engaging to people. If anyone looks over you, don't sort of hide away and cower. Just smile back at them, and that's really warming and inviting. So that person is more likely to talk to you than if you're sort of walking around with I've got a bit of a resting bitch face, mind my English. Basically means I can look grumpy or serious even when I'm not. So, if you just remember to be happy and be smiling, you'll be more approachable. Another body language tip is when you're having a conversation with somebody, just tilt your head a little bit like that. And to them, it gives them that perception that you're really engaged with them and you're listening, and they feel good. So it's a good visual cue for them to see you engaged and listening. So just maybe a little bit of a tilt of the head to help build a bit more positive rapport. Sixth tip is for entering conversations. Nobody likes that person who's really brash and rude, who just comes over and interrupts, butts straight into your conversation. Don't do that, because it doesn't leave a good impression with the other people. So instead, walk over and be quiet. Stand there and nod and listen for a while. And then find a spot in that conversation where you can add value. If you can ask a question to find out more about what that person is talking about, it shows you're interested, and it's an easy way to enter that conversation. People like talking about themselves generally, or they like to be asked questions about themselves. Shows that you're interested. So if you just, pose that little bit of a question, or you don't have to try and say something really witty and smart to add to the conversation. Just ask a question. It will leave a good impression with those people and will help the conversation flow and will bring you into that conversation a bit more naturally. The seventh tip for networking is focus on learning. It's not all about you and talking about yourself and business. Just let the conversations flow, and you can learn so many things just through listening and posing more questions. You might find about more jobs or potential clients or trends in your industry, or you just find out more about people, which then allows you to get to know them a little bit more and build that stronger relationship. If you have one of your goals each time you go to a networking event is to learn something new from 5 people, that's probably a pretty good goal. So while you're trying to learn something and asking questions, you're getting to know them and they're going to get to know you. It's a two-way street with networking. So if you're interested in other people, generally they'll reciprocate that and they'll be interested in what you have to say. 8th tip is to identify common interests. Find out where their kids go to school. That could be the same place that your kids go to school or where you went to school. It's a good place to start when you're trying to find that common ground, because when you've got that common ground, it's a really easy way to create rapport, which then drives that ongoing relationship. As you get to know each other a little bit more, they'll become more interested in you once they know there's common ground. You might have seen them at the gym. They might be a member of the same sports club, might like a similar type of music. But if you can find that common ground, just through asking questions and getting to know them a bit better, it's a really good way to sort of firm up that relationship. Tip number 9 is to pay it forward. It basically means is help other people out. Give information away. Help other people. Go out of your way to try and connect people who you think will have a mutual benefit, even if it doesn't benefit you, because it will in the long run. Through building that trust and credibility that you want to help people and you're interested in helping, they'll remember that you connected them together and they did business. And then they might connect you with someone who you find mutual benefit in knowing. As I said, it's a two-way street. So if you go out of your way to provide value and connect other people, it'll come back round and you'll get helped out. My final tip is to follow up. You don't have to follow up everybody you meet. You might just connect on LinkedIn. But if there's someone who you think there was mutual benefit in your conversation, you sort of started talking about businessy type stuff and you thought, it'll be good to connect. If you don't grab a business card, connect on LinkedIn. I'm personally useless with business cards. I generally don't carry them on me when I probably should. But I know I can connect with people on LinkedIn if I need to. And that way it's a soft follow-up. You just send them a little message with your connection request. Met at the event the other night, like to be connected, great to meet, blah, blah, blah. You're not trying to sell to that person in that message. You just want to connect. And then if there's mutual benefit, they might reply and we'll catch up for a coffee to discuss what we talked about at the event, or if they don't want to go and have coffee or something right away, they just say, thanks for connecting. Just look how you can provide value to that person. You might tag them in a post which you think is beneficial to them based on the conversation you had at the networking event. They'll like the fact that you remembered them and something that would be of interest and value to them. So again, it's building those brownie points because you provide value to them. Therefore, you're probably going to provide value to clients and other people. As I said, don't try and sell to them in that connection. Don't send them a message once a week. Oh, love that coffee. Oh, we should do this. Because that's coming on too strong and they'll push back. But equally, don't forget to follow up. If there was mutual interest in a certain conversation, write it down on your phone after your conversation, connect with blah, 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 or whatever's easy for you. Leave a voice note on your phone, but make sure you follow up because you never know where that might lead to in terms of opportunities. And that's the 10 tips for becoming a better networker. I hope you enjoyed